have made clear, we are not for the repeal of the Second Amendment, which gives citizens the right to bear arms. We do want people to have weapons to be used for the protections, but the restriction of guns is just common sense. The Supreme Court has upheld in the past restrictions on guns, even though it is against the repeal of the Second Amendment. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, as I said in my constructive, says that barring felons and the mentally ill from owning guns is constitutional. Restrictions on arms are constitutional. They've also upheld the Protection from Abuse Ordinance in Philadelphia. So the Supreme Court does allow restriction, just not the repeal of the Second Amendment, which is not what the affirmative is in favor of. Liz pointed out that bills are hard to become law. While that is true, that doesn't mean that it shouldn't become a law. Just because there is still a black market for guns doesn't mean that guns aren't harmful, doesn't mean that a law shouldn't be passed. The resolve that the U.S. federal government should significantly increase the laws and the restrictions. Liz said that I didn't cite the source for my Japan evidence, but it was found by the lead researcher of the Independence Institute, David Koppel, who firmly believes that Japan's restrictions are effective, and they are, because gun crime and violence is less in Japan because there are fewer guns in Japan. Taoto said that putting guns in the hands of the righteous people should be the goal of Americans, and that more guns make you more protected as in Switzerland. However, Brazil tried to increase their ban on guns, even though it was very unpopular. And since it was unpopular, this didn't happen. But Brazil has 50% more gun deaths than the U.S., despite having 110 million fewer citizens, according to a study published in the New York Times. So Brazil has guns, has limit restrictions, and has a significant amount of gun death. The Tucson explanation might be an exception, but it still should never happen. People who are mentally unstable should not be allowed to own guns. Restricting gun ownership and sale is common sense. The affirmative is not trying to repeal the Second Amendment. We are not trying to prevent citizens from protecting themselves. We are simply trying to reduce the amount of gun-related deaths. With stricter background checks, mental health checks, safety classes, fewer weapons per household, no weapons in public areas, and other restrictions, our country will be safer. These seemingly insignificant elements of our plan together will create much-needed effective change. Thank you. Vote affirmative.